But first, Spain have been beaten by Japan to qualify for the last 16 in Qatar. It is a result that knocks Germany out. Let's start at the Khalifa International Stadium and that victory for Japan. And like in their win over Germany on the opening match of Group E, they were a goal down at half-time but recovered to win by 2-1. Spain took the lead inside 12 minutes. Alvaro Morata, on his first start of the tournament, scored his third goal in as many games, heading in a right-wing cross from Cesar Azpilicueta as Spain completely dominated the first half. But Spain were on the back foot at the start of the second. Japan came out firing and scored 2 goals in 3 minutes to turn things round. First, Ritsu Doan with a left-footed strike from the edge of the area. His 5th international goal levelled things up at 1-1. And then came the big moment of controversy in the game. Kaoru Mitoma of Brighton. Ball across the box. It was turned in by Ao Tanaka for his 2nd goal of the tournament. On field, it was disallowed because they thought the ball had crossed the dead ball line, but the Mexican VAR checked things over and he deemed that the ball had stayed in play and the goal was given for Tanaka. Japan had to defend for much of the final period of the game, but they did so bravely and they win by 2-1 to top Group E.
And that result alone means that Germany and Costa Rica have been knocked out of the World Cup. Germany heading out in the group stages for the 2nd tournament in a row. You'll remember they won it back in 2014 for the 4th time. Well, 4 years later, they were eliminated in the groups, and it's happened again in 2022. And this was such an up and down game. Serge Gnabry putting Germany 1-0 up. But at one point in the second half, unbelievably, courtesy of goals from Teixeira and Vargas, at one point, Japan and Costa Rica were going through as it stood. It meant that Spain and Germany were both being eliminated. But, of course, that would change when Kai Havertz came on and got a brace, and then Niklas Füllkrug came on and got a 4th for Germany. But it didn't mean anything for them in the end. They are out due to their goal difference, which is 5 worse than Spain. They needed to win this by 10-2 if they wanted to go through.
Right, let's head live to Doha and speak to our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol. Evening to you, Kaveh. A shock, some controversy, and the 4-time champions are out.
Yes, incredible night here in Doha. I have to say, I imagine quite a few England supporters will be celebrating the fact that Germany are out of the World Cup. A lot of people in Qatar and across the Arab world, I think, will be quite pleased as well, although they may not want to show it in public. The reason for that is I think Germany had upset quite a few people in Qatar by being one of the most outspoken teams when it came to human rights, migrant worker rights, and also LGBTQ+ rights as well. We saw the Germany team before one of their games pose for those pictures where they were covering their mouths. That did not go down well in Qatar as well. Also, the fact that a lot of people in Germany don't even think that Germany should be playing in this World Cup. There are very few German fans here in Doha. A lot of people back home in Germany have been boycotting the World Cup. A lot of bars and restaurants not showing it at all. And I actually saw one poll of people in Germany, and 60% of them felt that Germany should not even be playing in this World Cup. Having said that, of course, they came here and they played, but they never really recovered after losing that first group game against Japan. And look, take nothing away from Japan. Japan deserve to be where they are now in the round of 16. Any team that manages to beat Spain and Germany in the group stages, you have to say well done to them. Although I have to say the manner of Japan's victory here this evening was very, very controversial. I was watching the game with a lot of supporters here in Doha, and when Japan scored that second goal, the replays that we could see, it looked as if the ball had gone out. And there was absolutely nobody who thought that that goal should stand. But obviously the VARs had some angles that we couldn't see at the time, which weren't shown on TV here out in Qatar, and they decided that it was a goal. And I think there have been some pictures that have now been produced that prove that the goal should have stood. So take nothing away from Japan, a marvellous achievement by them. Actually, there was a point in the game this evening in the second half when it looked like both Germany and Spain were going out. At one point it was Japan and Costa Rica who were progressing to the knockout stages, but it ended up with being Japan and Spain going through. As I said, a big shock across the football world that Germany have been knocked out for the second World Cup in a row on goal difference. But I have to say, sensing the mood in Germany and speaking to German reporters and supporters, a lot of them were very uneasy about the fact that Germany were even playing in this World Cup. And as I said, a lot of people in the Arab world quite upset with the way that Germany had behaved when it came to standing up for what they believed in. Human rights, LGBTQ plus rights, and also the plight of migrant workers. And I think a lot of people will say all those issues are far more important than a football game.
Kaveh, thank you very much indeed for now.